The Fog and the Crown. A Journey Through the United Kingdom. Part 1. London. Dreams. Aarav had always believed that stories had the power to change people. At 24, with his degree in English literature clutched in hand and a notebook full of unfinished poems, he finally stood where he had dreamed of being since he was a boy, the United Kingdom. The weather greeted him with a light drizzle, soft and persistent, as if welcoming him into its pages. He arrived at Heathrow Airport, excitement mingling with jet lag. It wasn't just a tourist trip. Aarav had earned a young writer's grant, a month-long journey across England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland to collect experiences and pen a memoir that could speak to young travelers. His first destination was, of course, London. From the moment he stepped onto the London Underground, it was a story in motion. The train rushed past dimly lit tunnels, filled with strangers glued to books, phones, or just their thoughts. Aarav couldn't help but smile when he saw a man in a bowler hat, like something out of a Dickens novel, step off at Baker Street. In his first few days, he walked the South Bank, sipped tea in Covent Garden, and watched street artists perform near Piccadilly Circus. The city seemed to hum with old-world charm and modern chaos all at once. At Westminster Abbey, he stood silent before the tombs of poets, Chaucer, Austen, Kipling. One day, he whispered to himself, maybe I'll leave words behind like they did. He jotted those thoughts down in his notebook, the one he promised himself he would fill before returning to India. But the best moment in London came unexpectedly. While wandering in Notting Hill, he found a small second-hand bookshop tucked between two antique stores. It smelled of old paper and possibility. The shopkeeper, a retired Oxford professor named Mr. Edwards, noticed Aarav leafing through an old copy of Great Expectations. "You like Dickens?" Mr. Edwards asked. "I love him. His stories have a pulse," Aarav replied. "Then maybe you'll like this," the old man said, handing him a thin, leather-bound journal. "Empty pages, but if you listen carefully, this country will help you fill them." Aarav smiled, and for the first time, London felt like it had opened its arms to him. Part 2. Mist and Mountains. Scotland from London. Aarav took a high-speed train to Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. As the train snaked through green hills and quiet towns, he watched raindrops race each other on the windowpane. The moment he arrived in Edinburgh, he felt a shift, like he'd entered a more mystical, quieter realm. The air smelled of old stone and damp earth. Edinburgh Castle stood atop an extinct volcano, like a watchful guardian of the city's secrets. He booked a small hostel on Candlemaker Row, not far from the famous Greyfriars Kirkyard, where legends of ghosts and ghouls whispered through the wind. At night, he joined a ghost tour, lantern-lit and eerie, with a guide in a Victorian cloak telling chilling stories of the city's haunted past. But what truly captured Aarav's heart wasn't the supernatural. It was the solitude. One misty morning, he hiked up Arthur's Seat, an ancient hill on the edge of the city. At the summit, looking over the city's spires and the North Sea beyond, he sat with his journal. The fog rolled around him, blurring the line between the real and the imagined. He wrote, "In this fog, I see clearer. Maybe that's what this place does. It doesn't just show you history, it introduces you to your own." That evening, in a quiet cafe, he met Isla, a history student from Glasgow who shared his love for storytelling. They spent hours talking about folklore, identity, and the power of words. "Scotland is a land of myth," she told him. "We believe stories live longer than people." Part 3. The Heart of Wales. From Scotland, Aarav headed southwest into the rolling hills of Wales. The train wound its way through Snowdonia National Park, past sheep-dotted valleys and slate-roofed villages. In Cardiff, the Welsh capital, he was struck by how different the energy felt, more grounded, intimate. He stayed in a small B&B run by a cheerful couple who spoke both English and Welsh. Aarav was fascinated by the sound of the Welsh language, so lyrical and ancient. He learned to say diolch, thank you, and croeso, welcome. One day, he took a bus to Brecon Beacons National Park. There, he hiked with a small group to a waterfall known as DreamsAarav, the fall of snow. As they walked behind the waterfall's curtain, water roaring and laughter echoing, he felt the most childlike joy he'd experienced in years. That night, by the fireplace in a country inn, he shared stories with travelers from all over the world. A woman from Italy sang a folk song. A man from Ghana told a ghost story. When it was Aarav's turn, he shared a tale from Indian mythology of Arjuna and Lord Krishna, and ever,